ham, lettuce, cucumber. So I'm at the entrance to Air Force. Very busy. The day's only just started. Oh. I was hoping they sold coffee, but no, just parking charges. Coming out of Air Force, well, I went into Air Force and really struggled with signage. I had to navigate my way out because there's all sorts of twisting turns and paths. So you're going to have to navigate your way through. Did not see an Ullswater Way way marker, but part of the path avoids it. Depends if you want to do Garbar or Fell. Like I said, Air Force, watch that map. But take this for example. How beautiful, how stunning. But although the lakes really does epitomise hiking in Britain, the culture of it is sort of almost antithetical to hiking itself. Where hiking generally is a solitary thing, as Wainwright put it, and he understood that going up into the fells, getting on the hills, going hiking, having the adventure is sort of between you and nature, you and God. And once you involve commercialism and tourism and the best gear and then 20 people in your group, you've got to ask yourself, is it actually hiking or is it something else? And the problem with the lakes, for me, I'm only talking about me, I know you guys love it. I love the countryside, I love the entire geography of it, I love this. This is what I always call the Lord of the Rings geography right here. This is the stuff that inspired Tolkien. And for me, hiking is that, like Wainwright says, it's that solitary thing. It's you going out there, soaking it up. But then you've got a culture now where when you come to the lakes, you've got the cafes and you think, oh, that's going to be great, cafe and toilets. And then along with that comes the high price tag. Everything costs a fortune. Everyone's wearing the best gear. There's almost a cleanness to the hikers. They don't smell, they're not dirty. It's kind of like high-end sports. And it kind of takes the shine off the hike. People come wearing the best gear and then maybe do a couple of miles, turn around, go back to the car, have a nice pub meal that costs 50 quid per person. I'm exaggerating, obviously. But you get what I'm saying, guys. You get the feel of what I'm saying. It's not, for me, hiking's the old traveller's way of going from A to B and stopping in who knows what to expect kind of inns and pubs. Or maybe just making do with your pack meals and things like that. The traveller's way, the pilgrim's way. And for me, the lakes, this is why I don't spend a lot of time in the lakes. The lakes isn't about that. The pilgrim here is not welcome. He's dirty, he's unclean, he's untidy. His hair's a mess, he smells, and all he wants is a cup of coffee. But it's a shame because this is beautiful stuff. If it were up to me, demolish the roads, demolish the pubs, demolish the cafes, and abandon the whole area, and hikers have to hike in to enjoy it. That's how I'd enjoy it. Remember guys, that's just the pilgrim's opinion. You can take it or leave it, and if you want to counter what I've said, you know, there's a comments box below these videos. Put your thoughts in, put your opinions in. I'd love to hear it. You might be able to change my mind. So far I'm thoroughly enjoying my day. But I'm annoyed I didn't get a cup of coffee from the cafe. Rammed with people, like I said. Rammed with people. Now heading south from Glencoyne Bridge, heading towards Glenridding. And if I thought the lakes was busy, Glenridding is possibly the busiest. I'll be busy with people going up Helvelyn, people who don't have jobs or have a 4-day working week on a Friday. Oh, sniffing again. Not really a bad habit of mine though. So yeah, I would like to get a brew at any point in Glenridding, Glenridding, I don't know. Try and grab a brew, carry on south, and then we're going to begin to come back round on the eastern side, southeastern side of the lake. I'm grateful for the weather. Turned out nice. So that was Glenridding, which if you were doing Helvelyn, that's the best place to start. Go up Striding Edge, which I've done before. So out of Glenridding, back on the trail, sausage roll eaten, coffee in hand, happy bunny. It's like elixir. Oh, smell it, smell it. Now that would be some place to have your wedding reception. Couple of miles, busy, not been able to get a camera out to speak. How dare they? Right, so we've passed Glenridding, Patterdale. So we've passed the southwestern point. Now we're on our way back up, heading northeast. And this is the difficult bit because this is all in the delightful. No. Not quite as impressive as Air Force. So we're needle pulling. We've got a lot of elevation, a lot of up and down, a lot of climbing, and I'm definitely not going up to the cockpit to grab the top of that fell. I don't care if it's in my book of waiting rights. I'll come back another day. Coffee, perfect. And I got one of these. Ooh, cakes from the lakes, millionaire caramel tiffin. Delightful. I'll save it as long as I can, willpower can hold out. Give me an energy boost. So we're past 11 miles, going to Gary, give him his proper name. So it's quite cool. All I do is press the little joystick and you can see the screen. Woo! Nowhere near as detailed a map as obviously OS maps, but enough to navigate by. Go back, go to the trip. 11.7. Maximum speed was 6 miles an hour. We must have got a jog on. Average moving speed is 3.9, which obviously isn't. Just takes into account when we've jogged down a hill. Moving time 3 hours and 2 minutes total. Nah, can't be right. So some of the features, simply, I just don't know how to use yet. So it's early days. Yeah, nicely sticks on there. It's on a lanyard because, you know, we all drop it. And so that data can then be saved as a file and uploaded to OS Maps, and then the waypoints can be overlaid on a map, and you can basically see where you went, which is really handy. And that track data, all the elevation, the miles per hour, the actual miles walked, all that can be saved as a file. So really looking forward to kind of spending time with it, using it more, because already I'm feeling the benefit. I've hardly took my phone out of my pocket except to upload a couple of pictures to the gram and to message my wife. So it's great, it's doing its job, and it's quite easy to navigate with. It puts me a bit more reliant on the paper map as well, which can only be a good thing. Get me familiarised with the maps. Anyway, enough of that, let's keep going. Pushing northward. Okay, get the message. If I was to sit down, it would be a beautiful view. So this side's much quieter than the northwest side. So I have stopped, literally waited as long as I could to stop and have a pee. And the minute I did, like 3 pairs of people just showed up. Anyway, I'd finished. Job's done. So I was just on the gram, ironically, seeing what was going on, and a chap who I want to mention. You know, I like to mention my peeps. Let me just get him up. Ross Dawn Moulder, that's his handle. Her handle it could be. Please forgive me if I've got it wrong. All I've got is your handle and whatever pictures you've posted. So it just says Ross Dawn Moulder, whether it's a family account or whatever. So they said, asked me where I was. Obviously I told them, and they said it's great that you can get out to do so many hikes. So thanks for following. Thanks to all you guys follow on the gram, really appreciate it. And I just replied, you know, that I had to do a lot of reprioritising in my life to make this one of the most important things, and to cater my finances and my time to let me do something every weekend. And it really does help having a 4-day working week that our company introduced, but it does mean 11.5 hours. So some of the things that got axed, like you notice I've not mentioned the gym. I mean, I give that a good stab, my mornings in the gym, but what I was noticing was it really was starting to get difficult to what's the word, maintain a good frame of mind, good mental health, because even though I thought I was doing all right, I did find that the lack of sleep was really grinding me down, and getting to work was difficult, and then motivating to come out on a Friday, difficult. And so I decided, as my son lost interest in the gym, that I'd also use that as an opportunity to take a few weeks off, see if a major difference was made, and it was. I feel a lot better, getting more sleep, able to do a bit more after work in an evening, and it freed me up to do this on a Friday. So yeah, you'll notice that change, and you've got to be ruthless and just say, okay, maybe the gym isn't going to get done, there's just no other slot for the gym now. And a trend I've also noticed is that people are having the kids much later in life. I've got a friend who's brilliantly answered prayer from God, got his job at BAE that he wanted to advance his career. It's great. really happy for him. Been praying for him for a while for that. So he got the job, and he's in his 30s, and he's going to do that job for a few years and then think about having some kids. And I'm like, I had mine when I was young. It wasn't planned, but I'm very thankful for my kids. And it meant that once they'd turned 18, I mean, mine's 20 now, 20 and 23, my lad and my daughter. Here I am, just about to hit 40, and I'm spent the last few years, I think since he was 15, 16, my youngest, being able to do things like this. But you can't do that if you're only having your kids at 40, late 30s, early 40s, because your best years now are going to be needed to be spent on those kids. You can't be out risking your health while hiking, while you've got young toddlers at home, and it's not fair on mum or dad, whichever side of the coin you're on. So yeah, you've just got to re-engineer your life and decide what's important and what you might want to do, but you just can't. You're gonna have to get rid. So that's my advice. If you're watching Rostall Mulder, you can clarify as well that which one I'm talking to. Lots of M's, lots of so's, a needle pulling thread. Can't sing. Yeah, if you want any more information from me on that, you just drop me a message. Do not hesitate. Do not hesitate whatsoever to message me. I will do my best to reply. It's not like I'm flooded with emails. If you want any more information or any tips, advice, you just please do message. Don't hesitate. Oh, I'm weak, Mr. Frodo. I'm going to eat it. Look at that. Look at the pinkness of my hands. It looks worse on camera. Yeah. So we're making really good sort of progress around here. It's pretty much this. So you've got sort of stony paved area, and it's just hugging the waterline, but obviously we're above it, we're not on the shore. So you need a sturdy boot to navigate it. But I've only seen 2 or 3 people since the last time I recorded, and well, a bit more than that, but it's not as busy as it was on the other side. Heading now around Roscombrig Riggs, and the lake thoroughly opening up for us today. The car is way over there around the bend. Still got a ways to go, so we passed we've done 14 miles, over 14 miles. So at the most with a detour, another 7, maybe 8 miles left, which is quite good. So I'll look for somewhere to just have a stop, a little bit of a break, and then we'll start the last leg. Oh my, there's an obelisk. I don't know if you can see it just on top of that hill there. Don't think it's a trig point, the map has it as an obelisk, but I ain't going up there to find out. Not today. I've seen one for a while. Well, I guess you don't need them. Some waterfall over there. I went that way. Whew, some steep climbing. Oh, I see. Trying to sneak up on me. Got my eye on you guys. You sweet and innocent. So I find that cafe, obviously, look through the window, looks dead to me. So I sits and has a moan, bewailing my lack of ice cream. And then I just thought to myself, did I actually try the door handle? I'm sorry guys, it was open, but she got the lights down so low so she could watch Love Island. Losing business. So, ice cream. So that place just after Roscommon Point. But yeah, well done that lady. Death by chocolate this one. I think she was a bit skimpy with the portion. Could have got another, scoop on top of that. But beggars, choosers. So we're just coming out of Sandwick, Sandwick Beck. Getting a little bit busier again because it's accessible by car now. So we're going to go around this yomping great big fell, around its toes, and then it's a straight run all the way back to the car. Just really at that, if you imagine the clock face like I usually say, we're heading towards like 3 o'clock, and then we're going to be then pushing on to 1 back to the car. Car's at 1 o'clock, for example. So yeah, I had my ice cream, kicking myself again because my brain got a bit fuddled while I was ordering that ice cream, and I passed up a chance to buy a can of Red Bull. I could have done with that Red Bull. I got a Snickers. In this pouch, Snickers, it's in 2 parts, it's not brought. This pouch is winning MVK award for this trip. Most valuable kit. Done all sorts with that pouch. So on we go. Getting a little bit tired now, a little bit. Pushing on to the 16-mile mark now, so 5 left maybe. I mean 6 at the outside, but 5, I'm pretty confident. Wind's keeping the heat down, I'm very grateful for that. Yeah, boys! A human word carved by our whispers in the passing air. We were going to go up. No. So yeah, spent a few minutes with Gary just playing with the settings, and I was able to get the menus changed, so when I look at the odometer it tells me how many miles are left according to the GPX file. So that file needs to be absolutely bob on, Johnny on the spot accurate. So elevation wise it's mostly flat now according to the file, and we've got 3.4 miles left, and we've walked 17 so far, so I was right, it's going to be about 21 miles, so we've got about 2 hours left. That is going to be very handy in future. Ugh. attempt. You can tell the wind is horrendous. It's not cold or anything like that. It's just blowing a gale. I tried to get through the gate then. I had to force the gate shut. It's just come out of nowhere. It's RKO'd. So we're about. Let's check Gary, see what Gary says. Press a few buttons. 2.2 miles left to Pooley Bridge. So we're making good time. Probably back at the car for, what did I say, 5 or 6, whatever hour it is. No watch on today. So yeah, feeling a KFC on the way home. Post-hike meal. It's always the last mile and a half. Goes on and on and on. It never seems to end. So we're not far from Pooley Bridge. We're on the road, so we'll pull out of the way. Nebthwaite Hill, I think it's called. Whatever. Past care in there. So a needle pulling thread. Can't keep doing that. I'm thinking about that KFC. I've had no signal for this side of the lake. For the first side I had full signal. This side absolutely nothing. How bizarre. Just bear that in mind if you do walk this trail, guys. Picked up a straggler. Well guys, we are back at the car. Oh man, that was a long last couple of miles, and you can see from the going up here, the odometer managed over 21 miles. Wow. I think the extra mile was the detour up onto was it Garborough Fell or whatever. My brain's gone. What a thoroughly enjoyable trail though. Really did enjoy it. Really enjoyed the day. And we've had alright weather. That wind is absolutely howling now. I feel sorry for some of those tents at the campsite. So that was what was it? Whiteside House? Waterside House campsite. And it looked really good if you're into your paddle boarding and you just want to get on the water. But yeah, it looked really nice. So I ducked into the shop. They had a massive cafe for the campers and with food and everything, and they had a shop, so I got a Dr. P. I was hoping for a Red Bull and they did not have any. and that'll just give me a little bit of extra boost just to pass the last mile or so. Yeah, what can I say? So the first half, if you imagine on the northwest side of the lake, that was the easier bit, I would say. You had a bit of elevation. If you don't go over the fell, I suppose it'd be a bit better. Full signal strength on the phone, and then as we got to the bottom and began our counterclockwise back up the southeast side, we lost all phone signal. Not that I was bothered, I wasn't really using it. Gary the Garmin, sterling performance there. And it was just a lot of slogging over rocky paths, and it got a bit tiresome. It was a bit exhausting. My calves are wide awake now. Feet are awake. So by the time we got to the campsite and that last stretch on the road, we were pretty goose, weren't we? So bear that in mind if you're going to do the trail. It is 20 miles. Some people say it's 18. No, it's the full 20 if you do it faithfully. And as I said, you've seen it's pretty well signposted. Not much navigation involved, and you've seen there's quite a few places to stop, get a drink, get a coffee, get a millionaire brownie. So, tiffin, sorry. Yeah, I hope it encourages you to do it. It's a nice trail. Now that's my third time out, fully fledged, after it's been laid as an official trail. It's not waymarked on the map. It just shows up as public footpaths on the OS maps. They haven't given it a name yet. But obviously, on the ground, you'll see there's plenty of markers to point the way. So I hope you enjoyed the trip. I'm going to drive home. Undecided about my KFC yet. See how I feel. Just need to see to the shad man. I've seen a border collie today, so I'm putting in mind of the shads. I'm going to throw the stick for him in the garden. And then tomorrow is my Sabbath. It's my day of rest. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to enjoy my time in the house. Sunday, bit of housework, bit of gardening. Ooh. One of the things I've given up in order to do hiking is DIY, because I don't own my house, I rent, so don't have to do any DIY, but there are some maintenance things I do need to keep on top of. So that's Sunday, if the Lord is willing and nothing happens between now and then. So guys, thanks again for joining me, and I will see you next time, back on the trail.